My friends are inside.
Now we're standing outside of checkpoint 300, the checkpoint separating Bethlehem from Jerusalem. And what we see is some of the implications that the wall makes to the Palestinian people. They have to stand in line for hours. Some of them show up like 3:30 in the morning to get to work. And you know, on some days the soldiers or the Israelis decide to just close the checkpoint, and they're not even allowed to go to work.
The Israeli Committee Against Housing Demolitions led the group on a tour that highlights some of the worst effects of the wall and settlement expansions in the West Bank.
It was temporary and it was easy to move. Now they say no. And even our foreign minister has said you don't need to be a genius to see that it's a political border.
The construction of the segregation wall is a clear violation of international law and UN resolutions. The ancient city of Hebron is a tragic example of the negative effects of occupation. The scene of much controversy, since early 1997 the city has been divided into two sectors, H1 and H2. H2, which comprised of around 30,000 Palestinians, remained under Israeli control due to the presence of around 500 Jewish Israeli settlers living in an enclave near the center of the old city area. Here you can see the makeshift protection against the rubbish and other debris that the settlers throw down to the street below onto the heads of Palestinians. The settlers make life unbearable for many residents, and as a result, the Palestinian population in this area of the city has shrunk to only around 10,000. A decrease of 20,000 people due to continued harassment as well as the extended curfews and restrictions placed on Palestinian residents by the army. Over the course of the trip, the group was able to improve their understanding of the situation facing Palestinians today and, in solidarity with the people, contribute to a future peace by keeping hope alive.
It's so great. You get to meet Palestinians and do something practical, and then at the same time learn about the situation and see the wall and see what's really going on here. So I would recommend everyone to come.
Has it been fun?
Yeah, it has been great fun. Even though some things are not fun with the situation, but we've had fun anyhow.
This was an opportunity to at least try to help a bit, see what you can do, and especially to get informed and to inform others once you're back about the situation here.
You can't come here and not notice how strange things are and how strange it is that most people in the West allow the regime over here to get away with it. So I decided to come back and do something useful, like pick olives.
I myself didn't really know the situation that existed here, and when I came here, it was totally unbelievable. These people are suffering on a daily basis, on an hourly basis sometimes. There's no freedom of movement, and there's just no freedom. You've got to come here to realise, and I think you have to take our word for it, because you're not going to get it on the news. You're just not.
There's a nice balance of picking olives, which is, it's nice to be outside and working, and also talks and tours and information sessions. So I think they've got the balance right.
For the Palestinians, it's very important that they are not alone in this world, that they have some support. And maybe politics can change when public opinion changes. And while you are coming here and sharing your experience when you're back and talking about it and writing about it and showing you pictures, showing your movies, then people start thinking, and maybe slowly the public opinion will understand what's going on in here, and then you've got some influence, I think.
I love the people coming out in the olive orchards and talking to the people, the people who own the land. They're wonderful people. Every field we've gone to, they've given us tea. I mean, they're so hospitable. These Palestinians are like the best people. I love it.
Well, you read so much about the injustices to the Palestinians, but I just felt I wanted to do something about it, instead of getting all steamed up, sitting in my chair.
But until you see it, you don't believe it, no matter how much you try to describe it to friends and family back home. Until you see the wall, or until you go through a checkpoint, or until you talk to people whose each story is sadder than the next, you don't really understand what's going on until you're here.
I wanted to stop my own indifference, you know. You're seeing this conflict all the time on television and you just get indifferent. And this was a way to have the experience on my own.
No matter how much you know about the situation, you can't understand it unless you see it. And even still, I feel like I have just a little idea of what it means to be living as a Palestinian. So I feel like because of the marginalization of Palestinians, it's so important to be here and to witness it for yourself, so then you can share that information with your community, because otherwise, like I said, no media coverage, this is such a unique situation that really has never existed, where the fourth biggest military in the world is occupying these people, that you have to be here to feel it. So I think that's the reason to come in itself.